boys, if you purchase a season ticket, do it. Do it now. Imaginash an cuideach carriche Killie, Michael Johnson. Michael, thanks for your time today. We saw some of your players there actively seeking new season ticket holders. How are sales been so far this summer?
Yeah, it's great. Well, thanks to our season ticket campaign, Team Talk, we've got the players and the team management involved, and they've been putting in a huge amount of work phoning season ticket holders and encouraging them to come along. Kenny's been out delivering season ticket books around Kilmarnock and encouraging people to renew. So it's great, we've now exceeded last year's total, and because we have our annual open day, the Killie Festival, a week tomorrow, 12th of August, come to Rugby Park. We're expecting to get a few hundred more sales next weekend, and then we've got 2 home games in August still to come. So by the end of the month we expect to be a good few hundred ahead of where we were last season.
The TV deal's now signed. How much of a relief is that after all the uncertainty throughout the summer?
Well, it's a great relief because there's been a lot of hard work put in by our negotiating team. Now that the result of the negotiations is known, it might be thought that it was a straightforward process, but I believe it was far from that. So all credit to the negotiating team led by Neil Doncaster. They've done a great job in persuading Sky and ESPN and the BBC to stick with the SPL and make only minor adjustments to the contract. So it's great. The biggest loss in terms of broadcasting revenue has been in relation to overseas broadcasting rights, which is with a different partner, and they had great emphasis on the 4 Old Firm derbies. So the loss of those matches understandably has led to a significant reduction in their sponsorship, but everybody else has pretty much stayed in line. Clearly there's an additional payment that the SPL is going to have to make this season to the SFL over and above the £2 million that we give the SFL in terms of the settlement agreement whereby the SPL was formed back in 1998. We're going to have to give an additional payment for the rights to Rangers matches in the SFL so that those could be broadcast by Sky and ESPN. So that's all going to add up to a few £1 million, and you know, that's coming off our budget at a bad time when it's difficult to find new sponsors and to encourage people to come out to matches. But we'll just have to make the necessary adjustments and get on with it. But at least we now know what the bottom line is, and we can work towards making our budgets fit the cash that's going to be available.
You abstained from the vote to Newco and the SPL. How hard a decision was that for you as chairman of Kilmarnock Football Club?
Well, it was a difficult decision because I knew that there was a lot of feeling that Rangers should be excluded from the SPL, but there were a lot of other factors, some of which I can't put in the public domain, that I had to take into account in making my decision. But one of the main reasons was that I felt it wasn't the right time to have a vote on that issue and to exclude Rangers at that point in time and then put the pressure on the SFL to accept a proposal that had been shaped and was being heavily promoted by the SFA, whereby Rangers would go into SFL 1. And there seemed to be almost a foregone conclusion that that was going to work, but I certainly didn't see it that way. I never thought that plan would work, and so I didn't think it was the right time to have the vote, and I felt that the SPL should have kept matters under its control and come up with a solution which would have worked for the SPL clubs, which after all is what the SPL is about. It's a private members company, and the principal objective should be to look after the member clubs. But there are broader football issues, and obviously sporting integrity had to be taken into account, so I can well understand why the football viewing public would see that as the principal objective.
Michael, thanks for your time. Michael Johnson and then Killie, I guess.